I'm here at Incheon Airport. I'm about to go out to Vientiane in Laos. We're about to see the Hyang team. Now, why do I start this vlog here? Just because I think it's interesting that I'm surrounded by all of this, South Korean culture. You've got this Korean traditional cultural center going on over there. You have all of this high-end shopping. You have just really capitalist South Korean wealth flowing through this space, and this is the space where our journey will start to see the top flight DPRK football team. Absolutely different experience. There's only one direct flight to Vientiane from Seoul, and it's run by Air Jeju, which is kind of strange because Jeju Air, usually they fly from Seoul to Jeju, but in this case they're flying from Seoul to Vientiane. And it's a little bit frustrating because there are budget airlines. You've always got to make sure that the weights are in there. You've always got to pay a little bit of extra fees to kind of get some of the basic services you get on other airlines. But as long as you're careful about it, it's still East Asia. So, the airlines aren't going to be really screwing you and they're going to be on time. But anyway, I've got a little bit of time before I get on. So I'm going to sit down, have a nice meal, because no in-flight meals, although I never eat them anyway. And then we're going to take off and fly on down to Vientiane, Laos. I'm really excited, and this is just probably a really poetically interesting way to kind of start this vlog. As you can see, we've made it here to Laos International Airport. We are ready to go to the Hyang game tomorrow. It's like midnight. I'm just gonna catch a taxi, get to the hotel, probably have a beer, take a shower, sleep, rest. It's crazy to be out here. You have to get a visa on arrival. I went right through, I got my visa. I had to fill out a form, and then I had to pay in crisp USD. They have some ATMs, but I saw some guy was having some real trouble with them. So yeah, whatever. This is Laos, and we will see you on the flip side. All right, so we are out here in Vientiane. We are at the Urbanite Hotel. I am now going to 7-Eleven. It's really a really sleepy vibe. I mean, I'm not really in the center of Vientiane. I'm really kind of in the outskirts, but it is so sleepy out here. I really have to. I mean, it's midnight, yeah, but for Southeast Asia, people were saying that this is not like Bangkok. This is not like Ho Chi Minh City. It really is just a totally sleepy, small, very relaxed, I don't know if you want to say a little bit of a rural vibe. And it is just totally different feel than what I'm used to in South Asian cities. Yeah, so I want to eat, but I didn't get to eat very well at the Incheon Airport, so I'm heading out to the corner store, and we are going to have some delicious corner store foods. 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven is always 24 hours. That's the great thing about 7-Eleven. The local marts don't have that. So that was an adventure. 7-Eleven in Laos does not take credit cards. I was not expecting that. My plan was the next day to do some exchange at more of a fair rate, because I know that the airport, they'll scam you. The ATMs, they'll scam you. But if you've got cash on hand and you go somewhere that's local and trusted, generally you can get a good rate in places like this. But it was just nothing doing today, because I thought, oh well, it's a 7-Eleven. All 7-Elevens will take credit cards. No, not here in Laos. All 7-Elevens are not created equal. They are 24 hours. They do offer the goods of the area, but they don't take cards. All right, it was a success. I went back to 7-Eleven. They put the products there for me, the employees. They were very nice. And then they let me pay for it on the spot. I didn't have to go back and search for all my things. They even had my total still up at the register. So, it is 2 in the morning, but it was still very nice of them. Big ups to the guys here at the Laos 7-Eleven. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the hotel and we're gonna eat. So, good morning from Vientiane in Laos. I just got up. It's I guess good afternoon. It's
noon, 10, but I think the schedule is going to work for me because, I wake up, I go to sleep, in the evening, or pretty late in the evening. Oh wow, Ukraine flag. Oh, it's the British Embassy. Okay, well, I'm not going to tilt towards the embassy because I know that filming embassies is always a problem. I have gotten detained simply for taking a photograph of an embassy in the past, so I'm going to avoid it completely. You will just have to trust that there's a British embassy to the left of me. So I can wake up really late, but my flight in 3 days is at midnight. I do have to do some editing for the channel, so my work schedule is basically going to be, wake up kind of late, but see what I can see in the afternoon and then work through the night. But I might wake up a little bit earlier tomorrow and the next day, simply because I just want to see more of the country, and I think sacrificing a little bit of sleep to see as much as you can is good. I kind of regret not waking up earlier today, but that's okay. All right, so this is the cabinet of the Vientiane. I guess you would call it Negak in Korean. It's probably pretty communist, at least in window dressing type of way. I mean, mostly it's just kind of authoritarian at this point. I mean, it's not really. It's more of a socialism with capitalism type vibe. Somewhat Chinese influence. It's not Chinese. It's very different from being Chinese, but it's just the marketization has entered the authoritarianism type of vibes, in my opinion. And so you have this. It reminds me of the obviously there's the one in France, the Arc de Triomphe, but then there is also the one in Pyongyang, and it's just totally similar vibes. They just make this big, I guess what's distinct about this is that it has the local flavor inserted into it. So, I don't know a ton about Laos. I can't really, I didn't do my homework before coming here because I came here so suddenly. But, I'm looking forward to going into it and learning a bit. So I'll see you there. So inside, there's a little bit of a museum. I would say it's just about correct. You have one floor that's dedicated to the building of this thing. You have another floor above that where they just talk about the history of Laos and places you can see in Laos. So it's almost like a really good preview for the country. You see all the different ethnicities. I mean, what's important to know here is that this was constructed in 1975. It was trying to be constructed for some 20 years before that, but then until the current government took power in 1975, I think it was August 23rd. So they were recently celebrating an anniversary. It's August 28th right now, but the anniversary is August 23rd of the government taking power. So that happened, and and then they made this, and it's like a symbol, and then they renamed it in '93. It's not like an Arch of Victory anymore, it's something else. But basically, they're just, it's not only for the victory of the communists, but all the historical victories of the Laotian people. But there's a lot of different ethnic groups here. It was kind of really fascinating to go through and look through the whole thing. And then there were some flood disasters going on. It was just amazing to kind of see the history at a glance. So yeah, I'm gonna go up to the top, and then that'll be it for this. All right, I am just walking out of the Ministry of People Security. I have to make this short because I have to get to the stadium, but that was amazing. That was like going back to the DPRK. I really have to say, this is worth going to if you're interested in communist history, if you're interested in kind of just the state and society. Amazing. Just because it's a Ministry of People Security, but they focus on so much more. I mean, obviously it's about, it's not just about censoring people, there's a military aspect to it. There's firefighting, there's drug control, there's athletics, there's public education, there's road safety. There's just so much that goes into it. I think it's a bigger industry than we all know. It's really, there's so much that goes into what they do here. And I think it's really worth learning about, whether you're for or against it. It's just something that you've got to come and see for yourself. So highly recommended this museum. And then, we have some police rolling by right now. Yeah, I mean, that's just how it is here in Laos. It's like, you know, the pageantry of socialism never died here. So even here in 2025, so absolutely amazing museum. I'm gonna get to the stadium. We are approaching New Laos National Stadium. We're about 30 minutes away from kickoff. I was a little bit late because the traffic was really heavy coming here. But I am super excited to see Naekohyang take on this team from Bhutan. I mean, you can look here, this is just this huge place out on the outskirts of Vientiane that they built for the ASEAN Games. And now sometimes it hosts football events, so hopefully we can get in. I mean, I have no idea. But you know, we're gonna try our best. All right, we are here at New Laos National Stadium. We are about 20 minutes away from kickoff. The Naekohyang team is there preparing to start. We've got maybe almost 100 DPRK fans here. Nobody from Bhutan yet, but they are taking on the team from Bhutan. This is the preliminary match of the AFC. It looks like the DPRK are going to, and Naekohyang, are probably going to run roughshod through this team. This is Bhutan, one of the smallest countries in the world, not really known for their football team. All I know about their football is that they were featured in like the anti-World Cup, or like they played against, I think, Montserrat, the two worst teams playing against each other. But anyway, I don't think that they'll stand much of a chance against the Naekohyang team, but we are out here just kind of seeing what it's like, the DPRK out here in Laos. It's going to be a great day of football. I have my beer. I'm going to go over to the DPRK section, attempt to cheer alongside them and just have an overall great afternoon, early evening. So we're here at halftime of the game. We've got the team from Bhutan. They are losing 3-0 to Naekohyang FC. It's a little bit of a one-sided affair. They can't really get to the other end, but it's not as much of a smashing as it was 2 days ago. So it's a little bit more interesting, but really after the 10th minute, Naekohyang had their first score, and that was basically all she wrote. The other team is parking the bus on their side of the field, and it's really just how many goals can Naekohyang score. It's kind of the name of the game here. And as you can see, there's maybe about 100 DPRK fans here. They're fervently cheering on their team. There was a boss who came out earlier, told them to cheer as one, cheer as a team, cheer as one, show the world that, you know, we are really kind of the ilshim dangyo, like we are cheering as one, that kind of image that they want to show to the world. And you know, whenever a team player scores, they will cheer the player's name. When a player comes off, they'll cheer the player's name. And the cheerleader encouraged them to cheer when a goal was close to going in, or when it was kind of close to being a goal. So there was that. And so you can kind of see the whole kind of attitude that they have. I don't know who these people are. I mean, I assume that they're people who work with the embassy or people who work in businesses here in Laos, but I'm not going to try to not show any of their faces out of respect for, you know, they might be shy about showing their identity. But yeah, so that's the game so far. What was interesting is I had my flag laid out on the bleachers here. And it was upside down. I just made a mistake. I was just kind of getting it out. And then the boss came up to me and he said, "Hey, where are you from?" I told him where I was from. And then he said, "Hey, like, if you're gonna cheer on our team, you can't like lay it down like that." You know, as you can see, they all they don't lay their flags. They have it wound up on staffs, or it's kind of, and it's always displayed right side up, and it never touches the ground. And so then I kind of realized I had to hold it in between cheers. I couldn't just put it down, lay it across the seats, because they thought that that was a little bit disrespectful. So, you know, I said, "Hey, I'm sorry about that." And then I displayed it the proper way. So there was that. And then there was, I guess the most zany part of the half was that there was a left forward who was sitting there and tying her shoes for the longest time during the match. I mean, I was a little bit shocked. But like, I guess it was so uncompetitive that she just felt the need that she could tie her shoes for maybe 3 to 4 minutes. I mean, I don't know how long that went on, but it seemed like an eternity. So that was really interesting. But yeah, it's halftime right now. It's a fantastic day out here in Laos, and we're gonna watch the second half, and then I'll tell you how it goes. The Naekohyang team is leaving. I just saw the match. It was the second half wasn't very eventful. I mean, there were a few more goals. The other team had kind of parked it. You know, there were a few players coming on and off, but really it was just, you know, the game was decided. It was how many goals could they score. It was 4-0 at halftime, 7-0 at the end of the game. So the other team, the cheering team came and left as a unit. The players after the game, they all came and bowed to their supporters. They bowed to the opposing coach, who actually is Korean. So the opposing coach of the Bhutan team is actually Korean, so they went and they bowed to him. And, you know, they shook hands like good sports and they left. And, you know, it was, you know, really just a nice day to come out and enjoy the stadium. A few people were enjoying soft drinks here and everything. And yeah, kind of an uneventful second half, but still it cooled down. The temperature cooled down a bit, so everybody could enjoy it a bit more now. The two teams from where Laos and Taiwan are going to go at it after this game. One thing I wanted to add is that this is a very nationalistic atmosphere. Nobody here had Ne Koyang hat, Ne Koyang shirt, Ne Koyang flag. They barely even said the name Ne Koyang. This is really more so about the DPRK and cheering on the DPRK. It was all nationalist flags, very much the same white shirt, white hat uniform that you see on the cheering squad at other athletic events for the DPRK. So that's just kind of what you have to see. And there you have videos actually of the DPRK being at being world champions, I guess because they're the AFC. You know, the under 17 and the under 20 last year were world champions. So anyway, it's cool. And you can see the players there. They're all now getting waters. They're kind of just getting refreshed. And I'm not sure why they're going back onto the pitch. But I think that they're going out there for a photograph. Yeah, like right behind me, as you can see, they are heading out for, no, just more like a team meeting. I think the trainer there is actually a woman, which is surprising. A lot of the times with the women's teams, the trainer is a man. So the whole team, that was wild. So I didn't have my camera out because I didn't want to freak anybody out. But so there was very little security out, you know, where the team left. I was able to talk to the coaches for a very brief amount of time. I didn't want to bother them. I just kind of went up and said, hey, my name is Hong Young-ja. I do DPRK athletics related stuff. I research it. And here's my card. And I asked if they had any resources, any kind of, you know, like, did they have the Cheuk Shinmun, for example? And they said, oh, they don't have any. And I was like, oh, okay, no worries, you know, like, cool. And then the players came out. And, you know, there were some fans there to give the players like a rose and everything after the game. And so they were giving all the players roses, and they were heading in, and like they all waved at me. And then when they went into the bus, every single one of them waved at me as they left. So like they were all in the bus waving. It was just one person, me standing there. And then a bus of 40 athletes is all waving to me. That was one of, I don't know, one of the most indescribable moments of my life, because, you know, I feel like they really appreciate that I went out of my way to come here to cheer them on, and that I did it respectfully. And you can really feel that. I mean, some people saying, oh, it means nothing, it's cheesy, they're forced to do that. I don't believe that. I think that, you know, they were genuinely appreciative of the whole thing. So as you know, this is group play, right? And so there's a team from Taiwan, there's a team from Bhutan, which is a very small country. There's a team from Laos, and then there's the team from the DPRK. And so they all play each other once, and then the team that wins all of the games goes out of the group and goes to the next stage. And I think second place might also have a chance to go to the next stage. But in the first match, the DPRK actually played against the team from Laos, Master FC. And there's actually two players from the ROK on that team. And so I got to interview the two players from the ROK a couple of days later, just kind of asking them whether they had been in contact.
여러분 같은 숙소가 니코향 선수들과 같은 숙소를 묵고 있지만 저 혹시 소통해보는 경우, 다른 선수들과 소통 아니면 이야기 같이 식사하는 경우가 있습니까?
저희 같은 식사 시간이 같을 때가 있어서 여러 번 마주치는데, 그래서 식사가 끝나고 이제 각자 방으로 이동하는 도중에 제가 먼저 북한 선수에게 혹시 제가 말을 걸면 실례가 될까요? 이렇게 여쭤보면서 제가 너무 같은 언어도 쓰고 소통을 너무 하고 싶어서 너무 반가운 마음에 제가 선수냐, 부탄 팀이냐,
예.
그래서 제가 라오스 팀이다라고 대답을 했고 제가 계속 실례가 될까요? 하니까 네라고 대답을 하더라고요. 그래서 그 이후에는 제가 말을 걸지 못했어요.
예.
좀 곤란할 것 같아서.
혹시 해보셨습니까?
아니요, 저도 식사 시간에 시도해보려고 했는데 그 개인적으로는 다니지 않고 단체로 다녀가지고 사실 얘기를 걸어볼 좀 기회는 없었던 것 같아요.
네, 혹시 여러분 이 한국 민족 갖고 있지만 여러분 라오스 국적 시민권 갖고 계십니까?
아니요, 완전 한국인.
예.
네.
그래서 저기서 태어나서 자라서.
네.
예. 혹시 이 경기 때 서로 소통하는 경우가 있었습니까? 아니면 상대편의 언어를 이해할 수 있고 조금 들을 수 있었지만 어떤 장점이 있든지 좀 궁금합니다.
네, 이제 북한 선수들이 계속해서 이제 스위칭 플레이를 통해서 이제 저희를 혼란스럽게 하는 경우가 있었는데 이제 나와라 그런 말들을 해서 제가 알아듣고 이제 좀 편하게 수비를 할 수 있었던 점이 있었던 것 같아요.
So as you can see, there's really been a wall set up by the people in the DPRK against talking to anybody from the ROK, whether they be representatives of the ROK or not. I will even say that I went to a DPRK restaurant in Mongolia with somebody who was an ROK citizen but hadn't lived in the ROK for many years. And this person was able to come in because there was a group of people who weren't ethnically Korean. But at the end, when they were talking with the owner of the restaurant found out that they were actually from the ROK, and then she was like, "How did you get in here?" So there's really a big wall being set up against people from the ROK, communicating with the people from the DPRK. But even though they're very cautious towards me because I have a non-Korean face, even though I speak Korean, they're very willing to talk to me and kind of interact a little bit. So it's a really interesting dynamic that's going on in the world now. Obviously, this has all been post-COVID. There's really been no talk from DPRK players to ROK players whatsoever, and it really is a shame. But it's kind of a sour note to end this vlog on. This was my journey coming all the way from Seoul, going to Vientiane to see this match right in the middle of this group play. And there will be more vlogs on my other channel, my personal channel, but we will continue kind of documenting the journey of this DPRK team as they face the Taiwanese team. And the Taiwanese team, the Kaohsiung Attackers, they have won both of their games. So the game that will go on in a couple of days, which I think will be available on YouTube to watch if you're interested, the winner of that game will definitely go on to the next stage. So it will be a very interesting contest between two very talented clubs of young women footballers. So I encourage you to stay for my report for that, and I hope you found this interesting and educational and just fun to watch. So yeah, that's it. Cheers, or chukbe. My name is Yong and this is DPRK Athletics.